Have you ever wondered how wildlife filmmakers get those amazing shots of elusive animals walking straight past camera? Well, it might have something to do with one of these. A camera trap. In this video, we're out in the field with wildlife filmmaker Duncan Parker. Duncan's worked on wildlife series for the BBC, Netflix, Nat Geo, Apple TV+, pretty much all the major streamers. And today, he's with us, sharing the camera trap techniques he's picked up over the years. I'm Sebastian, a documentary filmmaker with over 20 years of filmmaking experience. On this channel, I share the tips, tricks, and techniques you need to make your dream documentary. Whether you're filming wildlife yourself, or you're just curious how the pros do it, this is a rare behind-the-scenes look at how camera traps are actually used in the field.
I'm going to put this box down and we'll just have a quick look in this box. So look, there's actually, I think that the beavers have been quite old little gnawing signs, but they've literally been all gnawing down here, haven't they?
So what do we got here?
This is my box of tricks. I've got my old camera trap that I built many years ago, still going. Look at that, it's got the old battery in. That's fun. It used to support a GoPro, so the Hero 2 I think it used to support. But yeah, I've got some triggers in here. These are the old triggers that I used many years ago. It's called a Trailmaster.
So what were you doing with these and what show? Tell us a bit about this.
So yeah, these were from Planet Earth 2. But we also used them on Hostile Planet, and before that I was using cameras like this, this little GoPro one on Burma, and a film on Siberian tigers, which was quite a cool thing to be part of, a very fun thing to be part of actually.
And so you built it all yourself?
Yeah, so this is a very obscure glue gunned all in, and then we've got it's quite fun, there's the GoPro battery, and then as you can see it's kind of falling apart, but maybe could be repaired, so I've kept it as a little memento.
And how long ago was that?
That was about 10 years ago.
And how did you learn how to make camera traps and how to like work with camera traps and all that kind of stuff?
Well, I was lucky enough to meet some people while I was studying conservation, and I met someone who was really into camera traps, and he basically...
Who's that?
Hadi Al-Hikmani, his name is, and he taught me the basics of camera trapping. I went out to Oman, I saw a camera trap in action filming an Arabian leopard, which was pretty cool, and then basically he taught me that, and I got experience getting on the BBC and went down that road. And then I learned loads of stuff on the road as well. You know, we were working with the cameras like this. This is something I would recommend. This is the Brownings. Yeah, it's super great, and it allows you to get into camera trapping without having to set up a trigger, and you can just sit it on a tree and capture the area. And the plan today is we're going to set it up and we're going to see what we can get, but I'm also going to teach you a few tips to what you might find from that process. So I'm going to leave this box here, and we're just going to go with this camera trap, and we're going to go and show you what's it all about. So I'm going to take my bag and let's go find some trails. I'm used to like much bigger camera traps, so having something small like this is great because it's really handy, really easy, and yeah, we can just kind of see what happens. Oh look, my hide looks like it's died. No, it's not too bad. Put this down, hang on, and then the idea now is we're just going to go and see if we can find some corridors, some wildlife corridors. I'm going to drop the camera in there. Yeah. Seb was ready to capture that. You see here, look, so everything around here is been totally flooded, and before it wasn't wasn't like this. So the beavers have literally dammed up this whole area. Have a look what I'm seeing. See, they've made all this happen. So you can see here there's a big dam. It's amazing, really. It's really amazing because you know, they can do that within like a month, and it's just so different. So yeah, no sign of any corridor though, but see what Seb thinks.
Just getting some nice glossies of the reflection of the water.
Nice, yeah.
Nice cutaways.
So the animal we're trying to capture today is a beaver. It would be great to get some of this dam building behaviour, or at least some visiting of the beavers to this area. And so, yeah, I guess when I'd be out in the field, I'd be looking for corridors of where the animal comes and goes in this waterway. So where do they come into this waterway? So I'll be like, okay, is there any signs here? Yeah, there is. There's a sign there that something's coming in and going here. So, you know, I'd look down here and I'd say, well, okay, how fresh is it? It's not that fresh. So maybe there's another place that's a bit more fresh. So if I jumped across here without falling in, which might be a bit silly, but I'll give it a go. There you are, you've got to jump across now. Yeah, hang on, what have I got? I got the cable. Yep. As you can see here, there is a really nice pathway. It is quite good. I think it could be quite good here. See, there's a bit of activity here, a bit of chewing. This is the corridor that I feel is most likely that animals will come through. You can see here that like they definitely some, look at that, it's great. I think there's some deer prints, and maybe there's, yeah, potentially be some claw marks of a beaver. This is definitely, beavers have, you know, gnawed this quite a few months ago, but I just think it's a really great site because this is the woodland, that's the field, it's a transition site, and animals will have to come from here to here if they want to move over to that area. So I reckon this is a good tree, and when thinking about setting up for a camera trap, you've got to think about what eye level your animal is at. So what we're going to do is we're going to position it about the height of a beaver. So a beaver's about here, its head's around here, so I reckon around here is a good place for it. So I'm just going to shove that there, put it around the tree, put it through. Oh, I'm hoping to capture some pretty nice stuff. Be great. One little tip I might give is actually the angle is slightly off, so you know, actually loosen up the strap and then put something behind it like a stick. There we go. Then pull that in there. So you see, that's pretty good. And I think I need to make sure that it's covering the scene. So what I'll do is I'll just open it up, turn it on, and see what we see. So there's 3 settings. There's time of day. You really got to make sure this is set so the correct time of day, and that allows you to tell you when the animals come and go. And you go across and set it as 4:45 p.m. That's the date. And then we go down to motion detection, and we've got normal range and long range, so 2 options there. So normal range, which is a bit wider, and then longer range will capture more stuff.
So what's the pros and cons of long range versus short range, Don?
Well, different camera traps have different settings. So some of them have high sensitivity and low sensitivity. This one's got normal range and long range. So long range is basically high sensitivity and normal range is lower sensitivity. so it won't detect as much, but it's less prone to false triggers and things like that.
So you'd get more false triggers if you've got a long range, because it's more to detect.
Yeah, effectively, yeah. So I'm going to put it on normal range, and then I'm going to check the other settings. Another really important setting is delete all, which obviously gets rid of all the cards. So here there's a little something called a motion test on this camera trap. So if you hit on the motion test, turn it on. Great thing is, look, you can close it all up and you can see how far it captures the animal. So, is it capturing me here? Yeah, there we are. So if I was like an animal coming along like that, it would capture me like, yeah. Or if I was all the way back here, would it capture me still? Yeah.
How do you know it's capturing you?
Because it on the front of the, I put the motion test on and I get a little red light on the front. As you can see, there's a red light which will tell you that it's capturing the motion that's over here. Something to do with these cameras is to camouflage them up, because, you know, it's a big plastic obvious thing on the tree, so ideally try and blend it in with the natural environment, so a bit of tree bark maybe, or a bit of moss.
That looks great, Doug. Nice.
I bet he's got a little hat. Anyway, fingers crossed we get something. Here's the beaver gnawing. This is the bits the beavers gnawed.
Cool, eh?
It's amazing, isn't it? Look, that has been gnawed by a beaver. They've only used their teeth to cut through that. I just think that's absolutely amazing.
A huge thanks to Duncan for walking us through how he sets up a camera trap. I really enjoyed filming this episode. And over the last couple of weeks since we shot this video, we've managed to capture some great moments of the beavers at night from a few different perspectives. And I'm totally hooked on camera trapping. I just love the process. I find it so exciting and rewarding. If you're thinking about setting up a camera trap yourself, I've put together a free guide to help you out. It's got all the tips you need in one place: gear, positioning, settings, the stuff that makes a big difference. If you want to access that, just click the link below, type in your email address, and I'll send it your way. And if you enjoyed this video, or you want more of this kind of behind the scenes sort of content, feel free to subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see next. Catch you later, and I hope you have a good one.